Welcome back from the desk of Low. Now I have the return of one of my very special guests, man. He made an appearance on the show last year. So after we finished our re-up interview, I included the audio for our first interview after the hour and 30 minute mark. So without further introductions, I have the return of Jay Royale.
Man, peace, love, and respect, man. Jay Royale, East Baltimore. Yeah, man, the Ivory Stoop, the Baltimore Housing Project. Fucking, we out now. We running. I appreciate the love. I appreciate everybody listening. We in the building, man. What's going on? The dusk of low. You know what it is.
So as we return now to from the intro now to this is one hell of an intro now too. It gives the listeners a glimpse of what they're about to experience within the album now too. Because if you listen to Jay Royale's project, the intro alone is gonna give you a feel of what you're about to get into with this.
Yeah, the intro is just, you know what I'm saying, Jay-So really put his best foot forward on this. And when I heard that, it just had that thump, you know what I'm saying? And we went into the movie In Too Deep.
Oh, okay.
No, not In Too Deep. I'm sorry, Deep Cover. And you know, the question that started that movie was, do you know the difference between a black man and a nigga? And the first guy, he didn't know how to answer. And I was like, yo, this is exactly what I need. You know,
that's it.
Exactly, especially with what, you know, everything that's going on with racism and, you know, being woke and Black Lives Matter and, you know, everything that's going on. First, before you know how to stand up and wave a flag, you have to know thyself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, do you know who you are? You got to know who you are first before you fight for anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because what are you fighting for if you don't really know what you are?
There you go. So I really wanted to speak on those levels, and then get into that intro.
Yeah, that's one hell of a way to like a grimy glimpse into that. It's like, ooh, you start off with a powerful thing like that, and then this hard-headed lyrics come into play. It's like,
exactly. Yeah. So it's like, yo, once we open the doors, it's like, all right, boom, the Baltimore Housing Project is here. And it was like, yo, it's so many setbacks. It was so many setbacks. There was just like, when we dropped, it was kind of like, yo, we was right on time. Like, the people was waiting. You know, the frustration was at an all-time high. The anticipation, people was just like, yo, where is it? And then when it dropped, it's just like, oh.
That wait was worth it.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, for everybody that waited and they feel like that it was worth the wait, I appreciate it.
Man, because this was pushed back a couple of times, wasn't it? But you think that was all from destiny for it to actually come out?
Yeah, it was the Lord, man. It was the higher power telling me that I was rushing. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, okay.
We was eager. So it's just, you know what I'm saying, each setback, and then you know, I talked to a good friend of mine, Jamil Honesty, and he was like, bro, he was like, yo, don't rush it. He was like, once you release it, it doesn't belong to you anymore. It belongs to the people. You know what I'm saying? So on his birthday, we had a listening session, and I was like, yo, don't tell me everything that you like about the album. Tell me whatever it is you dislike about the album. He was like, I can't find anything, bro. I can't find anything, bro. So I can't find anything that I dislike about it. He was like, yo, I think you did it again. And I was just like, man, I hope so. And you know what I'm saying? Wow, each meticulous thing was just, you know, they were good problems to have. And you know what I'm saying? It was like, wow, I thought that these was the worst problems anybody could ever have. Oh my God, this didn't get taken care of. It was just like, yo, I had to get set down, and it was like, yo, you had good problems. You have an album that's about to drop, and look who's on it, and look where you at with it, and look what you done with your rap career. These are good problems to have, like
facts.
And yeah, man, yeah, very good problems to have, bro.
Because, like, for someone to hear, like, I don't hear nothing, I would be like, are you sure? Like, you're not just saying that. It's like, nah, man. Like, I'm feeling like there ain't nothing wrong with this.
Exactly. Yeah, man. So it's like it feels good to actually, drop a quality body of work, and people accept it, and people are receptive to it. So.
And they actually rock with it. Like, see, like, the thing about this project that I keep coming back to is, like, the skits. Like, the skits within this, they're so well placed throughout every song almost. Like, even towards the end and the beginning, it's like, wow. Like, so it actually felt like somebody actually said, like, yo, I see you doing your thing now. Like, and somebody really said that to you. So when you said earlier about, like, the quotes in these movies, it's like the way that we interact with each other now, too. Those little lines, they're like, oh, I felt that right there. I know how that is.
Right. Yeah, man, because like, these hood movies that we all know and love, you know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't just come out of nowhere. They're somewhat of a communal language, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like it's how the hood communicates, you know what I'm saying? And that's what makes them near and dear to our hearts, because it's like it's right outside of our door.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. So
it's like it's right there for you guys.
It's vivid. It's vivid. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like you don't know how to take to it. You know what I'm saying? But you know that it's that close to home. Then it's like I see where you're going, and it's just like when you hear the skits in the album, it's like it brings you back to a setting where it's like, okay, this is where we are. We're in the heart of Baltimore. We're in the streets. This is where shit happens, and you can tell by the lingo and a certain part or a certain skit, that I would use, and it's just like, yeah, man, like, okay, I know that scene, and in that scene, this is where blah blah blah, and it's right there. It's right there in your face. It's like 3D glasses, man.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah,
like
see,
3D.
like, and
like 3D glasses. Bro.
Because you have like some songs with like collaborations that people wish they could have now too, but like for it to blend with the body of work, that's something else right now there too.
Exactly.
Like, so with recording and shooting, like not only do you have the song, you got a video with Skyzoo. So like, what is it like recording of Skyzoo for a video? Because that video is so raw. I love that video.
That shit's fire as shit, man. And Sky, that was we went to Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? And
it was from Brooklyn. Okay.
Yeah, we was in Brooklyn, and we linked with Skyzoo, and we was actually all in through his neck of the woods, man. So it's just like to be shown Brooklyn from an actual Brooklynite. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like, yeah, I'm from down the street, around the corner, and this is where it's getting gentrified, and this is where the hood, da-da-da-da-da. So it's just like, he was out hood tourist, you know what I'm saying? Oh. And it's like, it's one point in time, a dude like a security guard came out, you know what I'm saying? And he, you know what I'm saying? He's like, yo, what y'all doing, man? Y'all, and like Skyzoo, like kind of swept up on him. And I'm like, oh shit, like, like, yo, I'm more or less, you know what I'm saying? I know Skyzoo being, the rapper, the more monotone kind of guy. So it's like to see him like flex. It was like, oh shit, shit was about to get real with Skyzoo. So it's like, yo, man, shout out to Skyzoo though. He's forever gonna be the big bro for showing up and really playing a dope part, man, in this for real. So
and the first,
and plus his verses. Dynamite,
oh shit! One of the hardest Skyzoo verses I've ever heard from that.
Yeah, man, for real. And he bigged up the city, man. He was like,
that's because he even mentions B-more. I was like, oh shit!
Man. Yeah. Scott be in Baltimore from time to time. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
He's classy, man. He's in and out.
Even classy in the video with the long trench coat now too. And nice and fitted with the watches. I was like, okay, I see this guy. Okay.
Real fire. Sky came and he just, he killed that shit, man. Shout out to Skyzoo.
So what made you want to name that song 1,000 Gram CEO?
That's a type of chain. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
The 1,000 gram Figaro chain. You know what I'm saying? It's you know, a lot of people connected to their Jesus pieces and all that. You know.
Oh, okay.
And,
I see what you mean.
yeah. So, you know, that plays a part in hip hop. If you ask me, it's like the leather coat or the Timberland, or like the Timberland boot. You know what I'm saying? You know, the Figaro chain. You know what I'm saying? The 1,000 gram Figaro, and it's like when it's the more weight it has, the more you pay for it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like 1,000 gram Figaro chain. It's like whoop, whoop, whoop.
So okay.
Yeah.
See, I like that analogy to it now too.
Yeah.
So when I go back and listen to that track now too, I'm gonna listen to that Skyzoo verse now too, because it's like what you said, the name holds weight, and like I was like, okay, I get it now.
And at the end of the verse, I say my word is thick as a Figaro chain. Word is born.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like any guy, you know, that's making that type of money, to show off that you're making that type of money, first thing you're going to get is a chain, you know? The gold Figaro chain. So it's just like, it's earned this spot in hip-hop, so I just had to name it that, you know?
And it really shows like how much like I said it throughout this interview. I'm gonna say it again though, like how well like the '90s influenced you now too, because like
man,
like that's crazy how someone
the titles, the settings, the beats,
the presentation.
The presentation. Shout out DJ Grasshopper, man.
He legendary cuts on that.
Man, he cut that shit up well, man. For real.
Even like
I sit with him. I sit with Grash, and it's just like every cut is real meticulous. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
well thought out.
Yeah, man. I want him to play a major part in the songs that we construct. So yeah, he killed that shit.
Because like before we cut out, like I said this now, but like I said, I'll say it again, man. I never got to experience like the rapping open like a Wu-Tang cassette, or like Raekwon's Only Built for Cuban Links in '95. So when I heard like the town, I'm in a basement, mind you. So I'm like, so this is what it felt like to be in like '95, something like that.
Yeah.
Like what you said, like sprinkle a little Wu on top of that and a Wu blunt. I was like, yo, like when you hear like a track. Like the town, I was like, God damn, he really understands the lane he wants to be in.
Facts, and like yo, for real, they would. I went to the movie Rhyme and Reason, and it was like, yo, that movie is out of print. Like you could get it digitally, but I just knew that, you know, it wasn't the most popular movie. So it's like that Wu segment on that movie was just brilliant to me. You know what I'm saying? And you know, there's no more distinctive voice than Raekwon. You know what I'm saying? Raekwon's voice in hip hop, it stands alone. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, you know, him, Dirty, and Meth, and by them saying, you know, just real potent shit, I was just like, yo, that connected to the rhyme schemes that I was using. It just made that joint that much more better. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, you know, we still live in the projects. You know what I'm saying? We just here before this rap shit kicked off. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, you know, any mentality, any rapper's mentality, you know, ahead of time was just like, you know, I'm from the hood, I represent the hood, and no matter how successful I make it, I'm always gonna have something to do with the hood that I'm representing. And that's pretty much the gist of this whole album. You know, the Baltimore Housing Project is about, you know what I'm saying, the mentality of getting out of the projects, but the dangers of coming back to the projects. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of rappers, they're not successful enough to leave the projects, but they meet their demise in the project.
Yeah.
Because it's like they're successful enough to, you know, to go ahead and depart from the projects, but their pride and their representation of the projects, you're liable to get killed representing, you know, by the same people that you're representing.
And that's what it's like, and it's driven by hate. Like that's what I hate to see is like like a rapper like Chicks getting killed in his own hurt. Like that's what I hate to see.
Yeah, man, you know, it's a rapper named Scooter from Baltimore. and he suffered from that. What's his name? Pop Smoke, and
Yeah.
a lot of them. Rest in peace to the greats. But it's just like, sometimes even if you're representing something, you gotta know when to love something from afar. You know what I'm saying? And that's basically the gist of this. The whole mentality, is just project mentality. So it's just like that's major in the projects. Somebody being successful enough to know when to get out and when to represent that shit from afar, or say, this is where I'm from, and it taught me how to move. I could shake a move anywhere on God's green earth just from surviving here in Baltimore. But that doesn't stop me from trying to, be successful enough to leave it.
Yeah. Well, is that what inspired the cover? Cause I was wondering about that too. What did you have to complete some of the songs for this cover to come to life, or did you just have a talk with Trev on what you wanted to do with this cover?
Well, shout out to episode 11. It's a dude named episode 11. He's a photographer, and he captured the actual picture of it, and that inspired me to that inspired the whole project, because what I'm saying, it was with the COVID and everything that it entails, is us having to stay inside. So I wanted to do a project from the perspective of being in the project. So we're inside of the project. We're the nucleus in the projects. We're in the heart of the shit. You know what I'm saying? So with us being trapped in the projects, it's our perspective being in and looking out. So when you look out, if you look at the art, you see the gunshot.
As y'all can see.
Okay, so the bullet shattered the window, and it's us on the inside seeing that. And outside is a beautiful city. Baltimore is a beautiful city, but depending on the perspective of
where
who's looking, depending on where you're at, you don't exactly see the beauties of it. You see the city being beautiful on the other side of a window that, a bullet hit.
Yeah.
So it's like by being on the inside looking out, it's like this is the life of the project. This is project living. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's a beautiful thing, but it's what you make of it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like every home in the project building or every home in a project tenement isn't, piss poor and ran down. You got people that live like kings, and they take care of their homes. You know what I'm saying? But it's the perspective. Like, just because I live in the projects doesn't make me project,
And this is what I like about an artist who takes pride in the art now too, because from down to the opening to the cover, you know what you're gonna get into. But I like how you describe it, you get in it from the perspective from the inside, because when you look at the cover, for everyone looking now too, as you can see, when you get into this album now too, it's wow, he really gave you a glimpse into the Baltimore, but that gritty side to it.
Fact. That's a fact. And you know what I'm saying? It's with the Ivory Stoop, it's the beautiful side of it on the front, and then it's the flip side of it, on the back, where it's just this is the beautiful side of my city, but then there's a dark side of it too. Just like any city, you know what I'm saying? But it's up to us to put that on the forefront. These are the parts that you don't want. Not that you don't want to come to, but this is what's going on after dark.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's if you visit a city, any city, it's as a tourist, it's beautiful to see this shit. But at night,
it's different. It's different.
This the shit that makes the news. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the shit that people rap about that actually goes on.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And so it's don't get it twisted. Every city has their beautifuls and uglies.
Yeah, facts. It's not just Baltimore, people. It's everywhere.
Everywhere, man. Everywhere.
You and Ransom, you guys got that Ray Ghost chemistry now together now too. So with the Wu Blunt sprinkled on top, like we talked about in the last track, it kind of continues into the fourth track. So, what made you want to articulate your features like this?
I'm very meticulous. Like I was saying, I'm very meticulous about my features because like me and Ray Sosa, man, we sit and like we try to calculate it, to a T. And it's like we'll lay something, and it's just like who do you hear on here? And not only am I playing chess with the rap game, but we're trying to make a name for ourselves. So the features play a heavy, strong role in that because we feel like in order to be a hip hop heavyweight, you have to move chess pieces with the hip hop heavyweights. You know what I'm saying? And with the Ivory Stoop, the features we had on that. So we just wanted to keep a good thing going. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like we try to be wise as who we go to. And man, since the beginning, we haven't failed yet, man. And the people that we reach out to, they're professionals. They're professionals, and they're good at what they do. And they always come through, man. They always come through, and I appreciate each and every cat that we worked with thus far.
Because like you're very grateful for throughout your career now too, like because like even for an artist like you to even attempt to to do a continuation from their first project to the second one, it usually doesn't work out in their favor now too. But I noticed with this project now too, it's like it was like, are you a big believer in destiny?
Yes, yeah, I am. I'm a Pisces.
Okay.
I'm a Pisces, actually. You know what I'm saying? So, not only am I a believer of destiny, but I'm a firm believer of dreaming it into existence and shit like that. Yeah, I am a big believer of that. You know what I'm saying? And we really that plays a major part in with what I have going on. I always believed in my heart that I would be where I'm at. I just didn't know when. Like right now, I'm living my 17, 18-year-old life.
Okay.
And I asked the higher power. At 16 and 17, nothing could tell me that I wasn't going to be a rapper. But the higher power, he's never late, and he's always on time. So no matter how long it takes, he's like, all right, you asked for it, then hey, what you gonna do with it?
See, like, and like, like your power within your words now too, because somebody can like easily just like, yo, I'm just gonna write like a quick 16 now too, but like I said, like you got lines that make you really stand out there too. I think this was in the Willie the Kid now, like my weapon now is season 4 of The Wire. I was like, damn.
My repertoire,
yes.
For The Wire, yeah.
I was like, damn, that's a hard bar right there.
That was dope, but it was. I really felt like if a lot of people that watched The Wire, season 4 was the streets.
Yes.
Season 4 was the streets. It was the school. It was the knuckleheads. Is how they became the knuckleheads. It was what was going on in the streets, and that was the main focus. So it's like my repertoire is season 4 of The Wire. That's the people. It's not the newspaper. It's not the industrial shit. It wasn't the politics. It was the street. You know what I'm saying? And just that bar. You can say so much in a bar if you construct them right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can say a lot.
Yeah, because like it's like what they say is like a picture is worth 1,000 words, but when you like construct a bar that paints a picture, it's like you could say a lot with a little bit of words.
That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? And then depending on who's listening, it's up to them. It's up to them to decipher those words or pick that bar apart the correct way. And we love to create barbershop talk, and that's when. I like that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And barbershop talk is when you have 2 artists on a track, and it's just like, all right, boom, who had the best verse? But nobody went into it with the thoughts of having the best verse. We wanted to make it a great song. So when it becomes barbershop talk, that's when you've done your job. Or when you've written that bar where it's like, you know, you're discreetly saying something or indirectly saying something, but it's for the people to figure out. So it's like when they sit down and pick it apart, you could be wrong, you could be right. It's like looking at a painting, you know, like a Monet or Van Gogh, you know, and then nobody could say what's going on in Monet's head when he did that, or Van Gogh's head when he did that. They could just say it was brilliant work, and that this guy was he was a madman. He cut his own hair off, but his portraits were beautiful. So it's like you can't say what was going on through this guy's head through the blue period. You just know that it was a Renaissance art. You know what I'm saying? It's Renaissance. It was a Renaissance. You know what I'm saying? So we try to create that with the vocabulary that we have and the knowledge that we have, you know, of the streets.
So, because you're a fan before anything. You said that in a recent interview.
Oh, yeah,
too.
For sure.
Oh, yeah, that's what I love about, an
for
artistry.
Sure.
Is, I'm just,
for sure.
You're not just in it for the money. You're in it for the art itself. And, it shows that it's well-constructed within your projects now, too. Even, with your recent release, the Baltimore housing project now, too. Because, from the artwork to the music, because you could have made just you standing in front of anything. It's I'm just gonna call it the culture. Just start within the artwork itself.
Right. It's the art is so relevant, you know, to what we have going on musically. You know what I'm saying? And my thing was, I could honestly say when my music career didn't pick up until I stopped giving a fuck about everything that you had to give a fuck about. It's like when I gave up on making a hit or who to please or how to do it, that's when it started coming together. So it's like at one point in time, you know, everybody that was in the industry or that knew how to, you know what I'm saying, that knew how to do something musically or a rollout, is we tried to adhere to every rule there was, and it's just and it's never good enough. It's never good enough. You can have a hit, you can have you can have a street banger, you can have everything in place, and it you know, it's always going to need something. Either you do have the hit, and then you don't have the look. So then it's just all right, before we drop, you gotta work out. No, fuck all that. So it's just at a certain point in time, I was just you know what? I'm a fan of hip-hop. I'm not a fan of the rollouts, the hits, and all that. I'm going to stay in my lane, and I'm going to do what I deem is hip-hop. And that's when it took off, you know. And I lost a lot of good friends. Okay. You know, I lost a lot of the good friends. I lost a lot of I lost a lot of respect for a lot of people just on some shit you know, hip-hop to me is about the gamble. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's about being different, and it's about going left. So it's just you know, everybody pretty much is saying the same shit. It's just who the fuck is saying it's slicker, or who's you know what I'm saying? And, you know, so it's yeah, man. Being a fan. I'm going to be a fan whether this does what it does or whether it doesn't. And still gonna listen to hip hop.
So even within because it really shows how Ray and Ghost inspired you. Well, I'm gonna say Ray, Ghost, and Nas, the early Nas. I'm gonna say early Nas that really inspired you to do this kind of project now too. Because even when you listen to a song like The Town or Line with Willie the Kid, something or that, or even the Unreasonable Doubt now too. You got that. Yeah. Reason of Hove, early Hove near the end, and I was ooh, so early on within this album now too, how hard was it for you to construct it? Because I'm pretty sure you have content that you didn't put on the album.
Way too much, and a lot, you know, people say, you know, okay, some people get it and some people don't, and I respect everybody who pays attention. But, you know, okay, so these names, Ray, Ghost, Nas, people know that they're supposed to be fans of them. If I'm going to be a hip hop fan, these are the names that I must be fans of. But they don't know why.
Yeah,
they don't know why.
I like that.
It's just on the plate. It's on the plate, and it's like, okay, if you're a vegan, you're eating this. If you like meat, you're eating this. If you like hip hop, you gotta eat this. But without YouTube and without the critics shoving these names down your fucking throat, you don't know why you're a fan of these guys. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is, this is the reason why I'm a fan of them. It's the shit that you don't know, At one point in time in hip hop, behind the scene, you weren't accessible to that.
Yeah.
You weren't, IG. Nowadays,
it's too accessible.
Right. Nowadays, you could inbox your favorite MC, and lo and behold, they just might answer you.
Yeah.
But it was a time in hip hop, Nas couldn't say he smoked. Jay-Z couldn't tell you what was going on behind the scenes. And then it's just like the era of reality TV came, and then it was just like, oh wow, people are buying this. But at one point in time, it was the words, it was the dialect, and it was the shit that they were saying. So it's like, I like to stick to that, you know what I mean? It was like, at a point in time, the only way you could know a lot about your favorite MC was, actually hearing their interviews or reading their articles.
Yeah.
And we were into that, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, now that I have somewhat of a voice, I want to incorporate my runnings as a hip hop fan into where I'm at now with a voice in hip hop,
Because I like how you use your voice to spread love and also raise awareness on what goes on in your city now too. Because you're a very loyal person, because you could have just made anything I'm not gonna make no Baltimore housing project. You show love to you got Ill Conscious on the feature twice on there.
Yeah, Ill Conscious. Me and Ill Conscious will always, some way or another, I'm going to find a way to incorporate him and whatever it is I got going on. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people in Baltimore see us as, being synonymous to Ray and Ghost, just because of how our stories intertwine with each other. And, I always make it my business, to name drop that guy and whatever he has going on and vice versa. But, you know what I'm saying? It's just what we can bring to a track together is so phenomenal that it's just like, if leave it up to me, it'd be, we probably had 2 LPs done. You know what I'm saying?
I like that. Okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? If I could have it my way, I would really lock this guy in the studio, and we would have a lot more done. But he's a passionate MC, and he has his own brand to put out there to the universe, and I'm proud of what he's got going on.
See, I wonder if Ray and Ghost wonder the impact that they have on artists like yourself now too. I wonder if they ever listen to your projects now too. They're like, damn, this kid, I see a lot myself in this guy. I wonder if they say that sometimes.
I often wonder that myself, because it's a lot of entities in hip hop, and it's like, they make it look real lonely at the top. They make it look really lonely, that's a good point. And they make it, they almost make it as if it's like it's impossible for them to open the door or something.
To get to that levelers.
Yeah, I really feel like the harder we work, our names can enter the circles that they're in, through radio, through singles, and through word of mouth, and a lot of times with the interviews and a lot of high ups, they get that Ray and that Ghost feel, and to me, those two are the Almighty, salute the Almighty. So it's like, man, if they ever we opened up for Ray and Ghost in Baltimore one time.
Yes, sir.
And I mean, just the stage presence, just the aura in the building, it's just phenomenal. Just to be a part of movement of that magnitude, you know. So it's like, hopefully they'll catch wind of what it is we're doing because we're cut from the same club, and you know they are the originators of that, and it's just like, you know, that created that. Without them, there would be no us.
And see, like, I like how, like, some of the work that you and Trevor Lane do together now too. Salute to Trevor Lane. Like, with his production on Hate to Love It, like, it gave you a grimy but heartfelt glimpse at what happens in Baltimore. I was like, ooh, this is one of the strongest tracks on that.
Yeah, and actually, I like to, you know, salute Trev because that was actually supposed to be a track for his. It was for his album that he was putting out, Quality Cap, you know, and I laid it, and it was like the fourth quarter of us recording for, you know, the housing project, and I said, Trev, what do I have to do, bro? What do I have to do with times? I said it ties right in. I said it ties right into the story, and it was like, it's almost, you know, I was already, you know, driven. Like, my pen was already moving according to the Baltimore housing project.
Yeah.
So it's just like that's what's on my mind. So it's just like any beat I can honestly say any beat that I'd have got around that time would have probably been that grimy street, you know, how to pack behind the dumpster rap. You know?
Fire right there. I don't care what anyone says.
So yeah,
but we need that. But hip hop needs that type of energy too.
And I'm starting to realize that because it was for a long time. I've done it for so long. A lot of people, you know, not even a lot of people, but just in my heart, it's like, okay, you got to come different. But then I'm like, nah, this is me. This is me. This is what I know. I know how to detail it. I know how to talk it. And you know, until I'm comfortable with jumping, you know, into that next phase of my career, I'm gonna talk my shit, you know.
As you should. So like,
I appreciate that.
Oh, anytime. And like, even like, you got some of the hardest bars to start off a song now too. Like even with the line, man. Like you start off like rocking Gucci Rainbow, like Shawty Low at the BET Awards. Like, god damn, you know. I never heard like that's so unique because I never heard like something like that before. Like reference like a Southern rapper and a hardcore street album like this. It's like, oh, okay, I see what he meant by that.
Exactly, and you know, it's like with Shawty Low being mentioned in a boom bap.
Yeah.
You know, atmosphere number one is just like, wait, where's he going with this? But realistically, it's like if you saw the BET Awards and Shawty Low he was Gucci'd out. He had the umbrella, he had the rain boots that came up to like his kneecaps.
I remember
and
that.
It's just like, right, and it's just like, yo, he you know, he showed out. He showed out for the stage, and you could tell that was just like, you know, when people say ignorance is bliss, and you know what I'm saying, it's just like, yo, for real, I might not see a BET Award stage again. So let me spend my money on the flyest Gucci shit that I could buy, and Shawty Low embodied that. So it's like even a couple of good rapper friends, I kicked that verse for them, and they were like, I don't know, and it was just like, and that was my cue to go, because it's like when a motherfucker would tell me I don't know, that shows me your fear.
Oh, okay.
That shows me a door that you would not open as a rapper.
And you want to open that door.
Exactly. I want to open that door. So it's like, yo, rocking Gucci rain boots like Shawty Low at the BET Awards. And it's like, I don't know if I would say that. And it's like, I got you. Yeah. Because that's something you would not do that the fuck I would do. And that's what separates me and you.
And then you follow up with lines like ducked off into the housing tenement getting pieces off. It was like, yo, this is so visual. I can see this.
Right. Duck. You know what I'm saying? Like, just think about that. Like,
oh, I did. I could have felt that whole album is so visual. It's like, god damn, yo.
Yeah, man, and it's like, yo, some of your favorite artists. Now that these biopics are coming out and all that shit, it's like the whole world has this visual on who their favorite artist is. But then what I'm saying, when these biopics come out, it's like, damn, I had no idea such and such was sniffing dope after the show. So it's just like, yo, for real, to actually incorporate it in the rhyme, it's like, yo, I'm giving you all of me, and I'm not saying I sniff dope or nothing.
No.
But you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but it's like the flip sides of both worlds, because it's like, it's like here you have, like I say, you'll have your favorite artist, and then you'll have a biopic come out, and it's like, damn, I didn't know yo was getting that high.
Like, the one thing I wanted to see in the Wu, because you obviously watched the Wu the episode series on. The one thing that I wish they included, because they always mention it was like the dust, like there's more dust and Wu. I was like, yo, where's this part?
Exactly. And it's like, you know what I'm saying, the fact that they didn't go into all that shit, that's the novelty.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? With us being the fans of it, it's like that's the shit that you don't know.
Yeah.
That we can capitalize off of if we want it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, for real, it's a lot of lyrics. It's a lot of little shit. Like, you remember in Sharp Niggas, it's like at the very beginning of Sharp Niggas, you actually hear ghosts like,
or like even like a knowledge of God. You hear like right in the beginning. I was like, god damn, yo, this stuff is dumb.
Right. So you know what I'm saying? It's like, shout out to them niggas.
Yes, sir.
Respect to them niggas.
Much respect to the Wu, yes sir. But we gotta get that part off.
But yo, you see Bobby Brown. Bobby Brown's like, all right, niggas know I get high. Put this shit, incorporate that shit in my story. Frankie Lyman, put this shit in there. Like, yo, it's a dark side to every fucking, success story. And it's just like, yo, for real, I try to wear my heart on my sleeve. But, it's one day when I'm not around, you never know, man. You never know what skeletons of mine might show up. But hopefully I make a name for myself to where as though everybody's going to try to eat off my name. I want 25 motherfuckers to come in here and tell our books. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yo, he was alcoholic. Yeah, all that shit. I want all that shit to be out there because that's the legacy of me, and I want my name to live on beyond me in the physical.
It's because like what you want to put on this earth, because like it's like what we said earlier, you could have easily just made like a whole new product instead of like a continuation of the Ivory Stoop now too, because like, so I gotta ask, like when people hear you like, yo, this is like the Ivory Stoop, what's that feeling like knowing like you got a project that you can just go back to and it's like, yo, I got features from two guys who are like the biggest in rap before anybody like really like blew up like that.
It's weird. It's weird because, everything that you do, when you're a believer in yourself, everything that you do has that conversation as if it's going to succeed. Yeah. Oh man, when this blow up, because then they're going to talk about, but you never really know. You never really know if it's going to be your defining moment. While we were making the Ivory Stoop, it felt magical. It felt, and the thing about me is, I was locked in the studio. It was me. It was my engineer, and it was a lot of arguing. It was a lot of alcohol, and it was a lot of piece by piece. Like, here, let me show you something. Piece by piece, we put it together, and it's like, yo, I left the studio with this, and you know what I'm saying? That's like the skeleton of the Ivory Stoop. And there was some tracks we had to, put here, put there. And I was like, yo, it's a story. I was like, yo, it's a story. Because we put it together, and you know what I'm saying? It just told the perfect story. And my engineer called me one day, and he was like, bro, you really have something.
Yeah.
And he was like, you really have something with this. And he always told me, he was like, I don't think you understand how potent this is about to be for you. And you know, by me, you know, these are my rhymes. This is my rhyme book. So of course I'm like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're telling me this. I don't like yes men. So at a point in time, I'm like, yo, shut up. Let the people talk. And man, you know, people just, they adore it. They took from it what I put into it. And for that, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for that. You know what I'm saying? Because it took a lot of hard work, and you know, the features. It's features that didn't make it. It was people that came in and they act like they was. You know, I'm not putting no names out there.
Oh no, you don't have
no
sir.
Yeah. I'm not gonna get no.
We're not Vlad. We're not Vlad over here.
Yeah. But you know, it's people that didn't make the cut only because you know you could tell it's just like, yo, this is not. It started to become an album that wasn't just a rap album.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is more than that. So it's like, don't just come with a 16, bro. Like, if I put you on here, man, you better kick some shit.
You see that? Like, none of that. Like, I don't want no like half-ass verse.
Yeah, man, deep man. And then it's like from my rhyme from Ill Conscious to, you know, Willie the Kid to, you know what I'm saying, Benny the Butcher. It's like these people are running hip hop, man.
Yeah. Well, like,
you know what I'm saying?
Because you're a
these
fan.
Are people that I can say I'm proud that I work with.
Because like I can only imagine, because like we said earlier, you're a fan before anything, and it really shows how appreciative you are now too. Like I can only imagine like you like bumping Willie the Kid when he's on the drama tapes, and then like all of a sudden like you got a feature with this guy from like one of your best albums now too. Like that must be like damn, yo, like I went bar for bar with Willie.
Man, and you know, before we actually lock in, me, Sos, and the actual artist, we have somewhat of a
conversation.
We have somewhat of like a conference call.
Okay.
And it always turns in somewhat like of an interview because it's like
you should document some of that. Just record just like halfway. Just hit the record.
I tell Sos that all the time, and you know it's. The beautiful thing is, whether or not we document it, it's another person on earth that hears that conversation, you know, that the three of us have, and you know, it's just it's crazy. It's history. It's our history, you know, and you know, the conversations always turn into somewhat of like an interview because I'm a fan, and I'm like,
it's like, yo, wow, I gotta know this.
Right, and it's like, yo, before I let you go, bro, can you break down the lyrics and da-da-da-da-da? What was on your mind? And then, you know, it's always laughing, joking. It's like, oh, man, like, yo, they know how passionate I am.
Yeah.
You know, about you know, how I take the hip-hop just because of how I listen to their lyrics.
Yeah.
So, when they get my reference and they hear what I put, you know, the effort that I put onto a track, They know that I'm not just, you know, I'm not just having fun. This means something serious to me. Yeah, this means something to me.
And like even like with like your features now too, like you're very particular on your features now too. But like you also have like standout tracks where it's just completely you, like Levers and Reefer Clouds now too. I was like, man, like. This like, mind you, like this is just only a week old, but goddamn, you know, I can't wait to see like how well this ages now too. Because when you hear it, it's like, was this released yesterday? Like it gives you that feeling of that '90s impact. So, how do you particulate what songs go on your album? Because I'm pretty sure you can make a song like this, but it won't fit the actual vision you have.
Yeah, a lot of them don't make the cut. And you know, a lot of times, it's somber because sometimes it's a track I would want to make the cut, and it's just you know, you could just tell that it was like it's the black sheep of the whole LP, and sometimes it just and then you know it's like yo, I'll hear from the producers, and they're just like yo, please tell me that it's going to make the cut, and it's just like, yo, like right now, it's phases because I'll just record, but then you know what I'm saying, and then you start weaning out what you have going, and then you start figuring out what's going to stick and what's not. And sometimes, you know what I'm saying, it's just like, it's not going to make it. You know what I mean?
And nothing is worse as like when the producer's asking like, am I gonna make it? It's like, bro, like you gotta see it from the artist's vision now too. Like if it fits, it fits. Yeah. Like that's one thing I like about like an artist, like in this day and age now too. Because there was a day and age where we have to listen to the labels or chase that hit single. But we're in an era where you can make an album like the Baltimore Housing Project with no hit single and have that raw grittiness for like a visual now too. Like it's an essence of the '90s at its finest, I like to say.
Yeah, and man. But you know, it's like sometimes that producer, you know, they get emotionally attached.
Yeah, to that record. You know I understand. Yes.
Yeah, man, and it's real tough because you know I don't like, and that's why like I'm a little claustrophobic. And, you know, a lot of artists, they do the whole, you know, EP with one solid producer. And, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, I don't, you know, I could do it. But it's just like at the moment, you know, I'm everywhere with it.
Yeah.
And that producer, you might have these emotions that I want to capture in the music. But that one emotion, I might have to go somewhere else. And I don't want that one producer to be the, you know, I don't want it to fuck up a whole EP.
Yeah, you don't want that one, it's like what you said, like the black sheep of the songs.
Yeah, all of these was produced by one producer except the one track, and then it just throw everything on. So it's just like, I wanted to, you know, put my best foot forward on both of these LPs to show the world like I'm capable of putting timeless work out into the universe. And then I'll probably sit down and put together EPs with one producer, or you know what I'm saying, because it's I don't know, I move a little faster than that, but you know, in order to put together something of that magnitude, I think I would have to sit down and you know, stay loyal to that one producer, and I don't know how long that would take, you know.
And I like how you expand, like, because you and Ray Sosa have undeniable chemistry now too. But you also got this guy Jaz-O. I was like, God damn, yo, like this shit right here. Like, you guys got some like shit together when you guys get together.
I know, yeah, and Jaz-O, man, Jaz-O, he's actually just a listening session with him. It's just like it's undeniable. He's going to play. He's going to play one joint that you're going to need for your album. I've gone, and don't tell him I said this, listen to me. But you know what I'm saying? I've gone to his house knowing, like, yo, I'm done. I don't need any more joints. I just want to go and listen to and then he'll play that joint. It's like,
I need that.
Right, you're killing me, bro. Now, what about that? And yeah. So it was. I think it wasn't a plan for him to. He just did the intro.
Yes.
Okay, so I think we had 2 or 3 listening sessions, and I had a listening session with him probably 2 months before we finished everything up.
Okay.
For the housing project, and he played me the town. And I said, God, I damn near fainted. I was like, yeah, I need that. So I need that. Because I started seeing the town come together, you know, and he didn't even know. Like, he just planned it. And I was like, wait, bring that back. So I'd sit behind him and just get the mumbling and shit like that. And, you know, he just like, he don't know what the fuck I'm saying. And then, you know, I take his beat and then I lock into my own world with it. And I sent him that shit. He was like, bruh, like, anytime I get the BRUH text from a producer, I know we did something right. He's like, bruh, bruh, like, yo, bruh, you killed this. And I'll be like, all right.
I think we got some shit.
Right, we got some shit. We sitting on one. So it's like, and that's my thing again. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't give a fuck about a lot of people's opinions. As long as I can prove to that producer that I know what to do with a beat it is, hopefully they'll come back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like, you know, if you trust me, because the same way that I'm a rapper, and you know what I mean, an MC needs that dope track, and for every dope track, that producer needs that dope MC. So it's like when the two meet, you know what I mean? It's like, y'all need you to do that again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I try to show love for them. You know, like, yo, thank you for trusting me with one of your beats. I know how hard the work is when you're putting together production. So it's like, yo, if I put together something dope over a beat of yours, it's like, yo, we got to do it again. You know what I'm saying?
You got to make that timeless music.
Yeah. And it's like, that's why, man, me and Sos, you know, like Sos, a lot of people see Sos as my in-house producer. And it's like, man, Sos is my best fucking friend. You know what I mean?
There's
so
difference.
It's like, but yeah, it's more to him than just, you know, producing on my joints. And that's why it's like, Sos sees it. You know, he's just like, yo, whoever does the track and we put out the best product we could put out, he's like, I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, Sos is okay with being track 3, 7, and 9. Because once we put that out, we're back in the studio trying to figure it out again. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, Sos, I love Sos, man. Sos, and he's loyal as fuck. So it's like I owe him that. Yeah, man.
And that's hard to find, like, somebody who's loyal after, like, when you achieve, like, success now too. Because, like, I know it's like sometimes it's like what you said. You may lose some friends along the way because, like, they just like they won't be able.
You will lose friends.
That's right. That's facts. I ain't got a friend. That's facts. Yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
But you have to be prepared for that.
Exactly, and that's another thing. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know who to consider a friend, and why do you consider a friend? Just because a good track comes out of a sit down doesn't make a motherfucker your friend. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, yeah, man. Truth be told, I never wanted to be a solo artist.
Okay. Wow. I never did it. Wow.
Right. I never wanted to be a solo artist. I always thought that the narrative would go, you know, you had to be a part of a group, and you and your group would have to storm in. You know what I'm saying? Because that, you know, the Wu-Tang, Mobb Deep, you know what I'm saying? All of these conglomerates that I was a fan of, and seeing them, you know, just stampede the stage. I thought that was the way. And you know, when you put yourself in the seat and you're sitting next to your peers, you start to see, you know, like, okay, I can hear by how you're talking, I can hear what your plans for this game is, and it does not include me. You know what I mean? So it's like at what point in time are you going to cut me off?
Yeah.
Because I hear your aspirations, and I hear, you know, when you get excited about your winnings, you don't include me. So it's like, okay, yeah, I see. I'm starting to hear that I'm disposable. So it's like I'm going to go ahead and
I'm gonna fall back on this.
Yeah, I'm gonna fall back on this. But I mean, it's no disrespect, because I mean, I've had my heart broken. So it's like, yeah, man, I know when to depart out of a situation, and you know, like I say, man, it didn't start working until I stopped giving a fuck. So it's just like, if you use that I don't give a fuck mentality, sometimes it might get you. I'm not going to say that.
All right. So before we get into this now, too, I gotta ask, like, tell me about Charles.S Dutton.
Okay, it's Charles.S Dutton.
Oh, Dutton. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, Charles Dutton, and Charles. Okay, so that name to my city rings bells, because if you're a fan of The Wire, there was a movie prior to The Wire called The Corner.
Okay, whoa. Okay, you're gonna put me onto something right here.
Yeah. I'm about to learn you about something. So, Charles Dutton did a series about the corner, and he took all of the flower, like you got the drug dealer and their tall tales, and the money and shit. Charles Dutton put out a series through the perspective of the addict.
Oh wow!
And he weighed in on the life and times of the what we call the junkie or the buck. You know what I'm saying? However you might see it.
Wow, I never heard that in years.
Yeah. But he it was called The Corner, and it was about junkies, and it was about three in particular and their rise and fall of, at one point in time they were young and then they started experimenting with the drugs, and it's all based in Baltimore. And what you're going to, if you check it out, you're going to start noticing that a lot of people that were in The Wire started in
The Corner.
Yeah.
So this was all before The Wire. Wow.
All before The Wire, and not only that, he had a TV sitcom. He had a show called what was it called, Ed? Shit. It was called Rock.
Okay.
It was called Rock. It was called The Rock. And it was based in Baltimore. So Charles Dutton, to me, I look at myself like the Charles Dutton of hip hop, because here it is. I talk about drugs. I talk about the junkies. I talk about the get high, and I talk about all of these realistic stories from my streets. But he did it in a way where as though this has a story too. Yeah. Whether you wanna shine light on it, or whether however you wanna look at it, this deserves its chapter of the book. You know what I'm saying? And he did it gritty, he did it grimy, and he made it big. He made it out of Baltimore doing that. He starred in a lot of movies, and he's a great producer, and his name is Charles.S Dutton. So I got with Ill Conscious, and the thing was, I was going to be Charles Dutton, and I was like, yo, pick a name of who you see fit to rhyme about, and just this is the gist of it. And he also did Charles Dutton, so it came together real slick. You know what I'm saying? And Level 13 did the beat, and we just bigged his name up, and I really like, each like the commentary is him. It's Charles Dutton talking about those. It's some of his excerpts from The Corner, talking about how deadly the corner could be. It's where you come to find out who got the drugs, who got killed, and he speaks on some real shit, man. So I had to pick him up. He's from Baltimore.
Man, because I won't front, when I watch these seasons, I don't watch those special features, right? So I bet you what you're talking about is in the special features that nobody ever watches sometimes.
Yeah, hell yeah. But see, I don't think that they bring up Charles.S Dutton in The Wire.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You had to watch The Corner
to actually get that, yeah.
To actually, because it's he does interviews. He does interviews with the fictional characters, and he does interviews with the people that played these characters.
Yeah. You
know what I'm saying? And him and he as well, he tells the story because he was actually on those corners, and he actually
experienced it.
Firsthand. So I really felt like I had to dedicate something to him, because it's like it goes deeper than The Wire. The Wire is just what fell into people. That became the household name.
Yeah.
But Charles Dutton was, he was like the originator of that. He was like, before The Wire, it was me. I was telling the story.
Oh, I like that.
They took it, HBO took it and ran with it. You know what I mean?
Yo, this is perfect up to this next question. I like it. I like how this is coming out right here with the originator now too.
Yeah,
so
right.
I gotta ask.
No shit.
Tell me about your history of Jaz-O.
Oh,
I couldn't believe I didn't ask you this last time we talked. I heard about Reason like yo. I was like, you got a history of Jaz-O? I was like, oh, I gotta ask him this time around.
Man, Jaz-O we got deep history. Jaz-O was supposed to be my manager.
Okay.
You know,
oh wow.
I did yeah. Shout out to Jaz-O, man.
You're so slick. It's like wow.
He's still the big bro. You know what I'm saying? And I still want to thank him. You know, for everything that he's done for me. Just being there. You know, just being somewhat of a mentor to my rap career. So I did a mixtape called The Decline.
Okay.
And there's a guy named Mr. Pay Attention, and he hosted a mixtape prior to that. So Mr. Pay Attention is from Harlem, and I dropped The Decline. He moved to Harlem. Then my brother moved to Harlem. So a lot of times I was in Harlem. So I bumped into not Jaz-O. I bumped into Mr. Pay Attention, and Mr. Pay Attention is like, look, bro, yo, I got this guy, and I want you to talk to him. So I'm like, this guy, you know.
Like, who's this guy?
Yeah, who's this guy? It was Jaz-O. So the plan was Jaz-O was gonna, you know, he was gonna be my manager, and you know, we was gonna get on a couple of tracks, and that was gonna be, you know, he was gonna be my co-sign, boop boop boop, and push the fast forward button, and it was like that's when I turned over, you know, like heavy boom bap. I'm like, you know, this is where I want to be. This is where I want to go with it. So, you know, I'm trying to get them to understand that, you know, why, because I think he was chasing a deal with Rock Nation, and I think he got it.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I believe he did get it.
Yeah, he got that deal, and he took him on the road, you know, and all that. But at the time, this is when that was in limbo. So it was gonna be me, and I think he had another artist that he was dealing with. You know, I didn't know who they was or whatever. I was more, you know, concerned about putting my best foot forward,
yeah,
and making the best music that I could, you know, to get him, you know, either to jump on or to co-sign. So, you know, the music was going great. He was loving it. You know what I'm saying? But then this is in the midst of me making the Ivory Stoop. So I told him and Pay Attention, you know, I was like, well, what I want to do is I want to do cassette tapes and vinyl. And it was just like, they didn't think that had any relevance anymore, you know? They just didn't think that was the way to go. And, you know, like, we would talk, we would have FaceTime conversations, you know, 2 or 3 times out of the week. And, you know, it just turned into a, you know, he distanced himself. And I was cool with that because, I was cool with that because nothing was etched in stone.
Yeah.
And he didn't owe me anything. So I was just like, I was just appreciative for the nigga listening to my shit.
Or being acknowledged by like that's fucking Jaz-O.
And I saw it early. So it was like, all I needed from him was give me a post something on IG to let these niggas know that this is what you're listening to. This is, you know, what you're checking out. You know, and he was just, you know, he was real reluctant on doing it. And I was just like, all right, well, you know, until you do it, I'm going to try my best to give you a reason to do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just keep on knocking out these tracks. I'm gonna try to keep growling on these records, you know. And you know, lo and behold, congratulations to him. He got that deal with Rock Nation. So then, Rock Nation picked them up, and then he did he was on tour with the Legends tour or something.
Yeah, he was on some kind of tour. I remember that.
Yeah, he did the Legends tour, and you know, that was that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. It was great. It was great for what it was, and it gave me an uncanny drive.
Yo, I like that. Okay, I like that.
Because, you know, here it is. Let's bring that fate and destiny thing back. You know, here you got Jaz-O co-signing me, and my name is Jay. You know.
Yeah.
So
it was destiny. All this is destiny.
Yeah. So you sprinkle Jaz-O on top of the name Jay.
Yo, you just never know.
You just never know, bro. So it's like I just was, I felt in my heart that if I could have pressed Jaz-O, maybe I could follow the footsteps of a Brooklyn rapper we all know and love.
And see, this is what I love, coming into this question now too.
Man.
Like, this is my favorite track on the album is Unreasonably Doubted. That's my shit right there. That's my shit.
I love that joint. I even like the remix is fire too with Care.
Oh,
yeah, it's a hidden track. It's a hidden track at the end of it. Unreasonably Doubted, the remix, and it has an alternate ending. It has Pure, which was Raekwon's. He's a Raekwon artist. They used to be involved with Raekwon.
Okay.
And he's from VA, and he killed that shit. But the original was, is just me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I love that joint because it's like Jay drops so many jewels.
Yeah.
In that joint. And that's why it was lengthy. Like, that hook was lengthy.
But that's what I liked about it, because there was jewels within that hook.
Exactly, because he dropped so many jewels, and I didn't want to, I didn't want to take away from that. I wanted it to be a Jay-Z type of feel. You know what I'm saying? And then the lyrics would, to me, were potent as fuck. You know what I'm saying? It's like, as I'm penning these lyrics, I'm blowing myself away. Like, wow, like
I'm creating this, damn.
Right. Like I'm thinking to myself, like, yo, who says this shit? I haven't heard anything like this, ever. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like, it came off real slick. And I thought about Jaz-O, and I thought about, kind of like trying to get that track to him, but I ain't want it to be, you know what I'm saying? I still don't know. That's another thing with me and Jaz-O. Like, I never questioned the relationship that was between him and the big homie. And, it's none of my business.
Yeah.
And, you know what I'm saying?
Like, that's between them. Yeah, respectful
like,
of
that's
that.
between them. So it's like, by him coming into my life, you know what I'm saying? This is a us thing,
Yeah.
You're my big bro, and you're my mentor. So, when they told me their plans for my rap career, automatically I saw the relationship. Like, okay, Jaz-O, who better than run with than somebody that knows this shit
and actually understands it, like, in the long run now too. Because, like, do you think, like, Unreasonably Doubted is kind of setting you up for that kind of, like, for your third installment for this? Because from an average fan, this is what I think. Like, I think, like, the Ivory Stoop and the Baltimore Housing Projects, those are your only Built for Cuban Links 1 and 2. Now, I think, like, with your continuation with this would be your Reasonable Doubt, like your homage to that, if that makes sense.
Right. You're talking that shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's so many different ways that there's so many different avenues that we can take it to, because it's like, you got the Reasonable Doubts, and then you got, what I'm saying, like, the Only Built, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, how and it's like, how could I do this in my own way? And
exactly.
Here we are doing it. Here we are doing it. The Ivory Stoop, the Baltimore Housing Project. These are my Only Built for Cuban Links. And these are my, Illmatics and shit like that. So it's just like, I'm really paying homage to the greats. So it's just like, who knows what we'll come up with next, because it's like, I have so much more to say. And I have, a lot of dues to still pay, So I'm still paying dues. I'm still a work in progress. So it's just like, the fact that we're here, I'm just glad people are looking forward to the next installment, or, what it is I have to say next, because, yeah, man, we put a lot into it.
And it shows, like, because, like, I bet, like, you imagine, like this kind of albums that you were creating when you were making the Crown Royale mixtape. Like, you always knew, like, you were going to have something of that stature in your career.
Yeah, man. A lot of it was just me being an asshole, bro. Because it was like like I said, you had to have the hit, and you had the auto tune, and you had to do that. It was just me saying, yo,
trap era, yeah.
I was anti everything pop. I was anti all of that, because that's not what the folks that I was growing up around like. It was like, we didn't represent that. So it was just like, to see people that, didn't represent that and try to jump on that wave, it just made them look corny.
And like, see, I like how you stuck to your sound without all these years now too, because like you're a huge fan of the Golden Hour, so I gotta ask now too. Like, I remember when he hit my phone, and the guy only told me, he's like, "Yo, I'm only doing 2 interviews, yous." And the other guys are, "Oh shit, you a legend, Buck Wild." So I gotta ask, like, what was it like when Buck Wild hit your phone?
Oh my gosh, man. Buck, let me. This all I'm gonna say about Buck Wild, man. Buck Wild is a fucking Pisces.
I don't know.
And he talks a language that only Pisces understand.
Okay.
Yeah, man. You gotta be cut from that club. You gotta be. Buck Wild, just a conversation with that guy, man. Like a 45 conversation with that guy gave me the most chill bumps I've ever had as an artist, and it's just like, to hear him talk and, like, rekindle, like, yeah, man, because when we was in there with Biggie, when we was in the studio with Biggie,
I was like, whoa!
I'm sitting there like, oh my God. Like, like, where are we right now? Like, I was not on Earth for probably 45 minutes.
Right, I believe that.
And talking to that man, and him, putting me in a position, everything, when niggas like that talk, man, listen.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I'm saying? You listen.
You don't overspeak them. Like, when they drop a knowledge, you listen to them.
Exactly. And it's like, I knew my role, even with Jaz-O. With Jaz-O, with Benny, walking through the hood with Benny, you know what I'm saying? Conway, Willie, you know what I'm saying? When these niggas talk, you listen.
Yeah.
You listen, bro. You listen. And whatever you do with what it is you're listening to, is up to you. But when them niggas got something to say, shut up.
Yeah. Just soak it in. Soak it in.
Soak it in, man. And you talk accordingly, man. You talk when you talk. You speak when spoken to, and you know what I'm saying. Like, make your questions make sense.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you don't want to embarrass yourself.
You don't want to ask no wild shit, like asking the guys like, "Yo, what kind of groupies does Biggie have?" Like, you don't ask that type of shit.
No, you don't jump off.
Yeah. Or anything.
You conduct yourself as if you still have a lot to learn.
And you're not taking it serious.
Right. And the part about it is, it's like, man, when you show the higher ups that you still have a lot to learn, they understand, because it's like, we all have a lot to learn.
Yeah.
There's always room for knowledge. You know what I'm saying? But that guy that comes in thinking he knows every fucking thing.
Yeah, and I hate that shit. It's like, yo, man, just listen.
Yourself from that guy. Yeah.
And like, I like how you said that now too, like, because I interviewed Willie the Kid and Buck Wild. Now, when I was like listening to Willie the Kid, like dropping these jabs, I'm over here like this. I'm like, this is Willie the fuck, and I'm being quiet. I'm not interrupting him. Like, this is fucking Willie the Kid dropping like jewelry for these up and coming artists to listen to.
Right. Imagine he calls himself the Fly, man. So imagine some of the shit that he's seen, just being a fly on the wall.
Yeah.
Just being affiliated with who he's affiliated with. His run. Drama. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and like what after drama? It's like, wow.
Yeah, his Wu affiliate, you know what I'm saying? His brother, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, Man, Willie ain't no man. He ain't no spring chicken, bro.
Yes, sir.
He
Yeah,
ain't no spring
like,
chicken, man.
The dude's on songs of like who? What artist can say they're on a sort of Nas and Scarface? Like how many artists can say that shit?
Right. Exactly.
And see, like,
and he carries it so classy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's classy about it. You know what I mean? It's not about bragging and boasting. It's about this is where I've been, but it's not where I'm trying to go. You know what I'm saying?
It's like that was the past. Leave it
so
there.
much further to go. Yeah, exactly. And that's my thing. It's like, yeah, man, we've conquered a lot of land, but we're not there yet.
Yeah.
We're not there yet. So we still got a lot to do. Still got a lot of work to do.
So as we close out towards this interview, because I understand you a busy man. You got tracks with Vinny Paz, man. You blowing on shit.
Shout out VP. Shout out my man Paz.
So what do you see yourself in like 5 years? Like, do you see yourself like having a magnum opus, and then do you see yourself having a Rain Ghost feature in your lifetime?
Wow. I do.
That's fair. I like her. Yeah, that's right. All right.
I do. I do. But you know, it's just going to take a lot of work, and I'm willing to put that work in as long as it's, you know, I'm having fun.
Okay.
I'm really, you know, small time goals. I'm really just trying to be the first artist from my city to do little things, and you know what I'm saying, bring those accolades back home, and I'm just really having fun. The next 5 years starts tomorrow, you know.
Okay.
So within that short span of what I can do within the next year, we'll keep going as time progresses. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like small time goals. If I can't get a Ghost feature or a Ray feature, I'll settle. You know what I'm saying? Like we gotta climb the ladder. But yeah, man, I love just even to have one of them niggas talk on my shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, as an intro, oh my gosh.
Yeah, man, I would really love for any of that shit to happen. So it's just like, you know, here we are, and we got a lot of work to do. So it's just like I like where we're going with this. That's all.
I like how you acknowledge that you still have a lot more to do, as opposed to be like, oh, I'm already there. I'm above that kind of level. But I like how you like the humbleness. It's like, I got a lot of work to do. That just shows them like, you're gonna get it. I already know.
Yeah, man. I see a lot of cats, you know, and they're complacent. They're comfortable with, you know, where they are, and you know, it's. Nah, man, don't get complacent, man. It's a motherfucker like me right eat your food on the track. You know what I'm saying? Don't get complacent, because if we get you involved, if we hire a nigga to rap, then you better put your best foot forward, because we gonna rap, nigga. We round two.
Cause yeah, I think like within 5 years now, you're really gonna look back on these 2 albums. It's like, damn, man, like I can't believe I did this.
I mean, you know. You never know, man. Like right now, they getting framed.
Oh, that's good. I love to hear that. Okay.
The art is getting framed. You know, they're getting acknowledged. If you go on Discogs, I think they had a vinyl of the Ivory Stoop sell for like $250.
Oh, Daisy, imagine 5 years be like 500 something.
Right, man. So you gotta think like, all right, like look at the Jordan shoe.
Okay.
You know, all I gotta do is keep on, you know, reinvesting in myself and building that stock. Man, that shit could sell for on eBay like, who knows, man? You see, Wu-Tang sold some shit for $1 million.
Yo, and then we still ain't here. Fuck you, Martin Shkreli. I don't know. Yeah, you should give that to the people.
I don't think they want it to be heard, bro. I don't think it's some work that they're proud of, because you know it was put together wrong. I think if they put their minds together,
they could do something like that.
Exactly. Now it's been done. So think about if they promoted it right and they sat down and said, "We're going to do it again the right way."
Yeah.
And get $2 million.
Yeah, and it will work.
It would definitely work because $1 million, it's been seen. They did it by accident. So imagine if they put all their ducks in the one bag. You know what I'm saying?
Because I'm a huge fan of interviews. So when I watched this interview of Method Man talking about that album, it was like on the Business Inquirer, and Method Man's like, "Yo, I fucking hate Silver when it's put together," and like he got into like the making of like how it was put, and it's like, "Yo, we didn't approve of this. Only RZA did."
Yeah. So think about if they, where they are now, and if they really locked in, and you know what I'm saying, and not even to say, look, we're broke and we want to make some money. If they're in a good place and they just said, let's put together something for the people or for us, like, oh man, it could be crazy.
Especially with this climate, like the climate we're in now, this would be perfect. Because
Wu-Tang could save the children.
because at the time they did that first album, I don't think the climate was right. But now that we're getting like Griselda on Jimmy Kimmel, like I think now would be the best time for that.
Hey man, they're the experts, they're the professionals. So we can only hope that they're thinking the way that the streets are thinking, because that's what's going to make or break it. You know what I'm saying? But hopefully they figure it out.
Man, I can't wait till I see Jay Royale on one of these late night shows like Fallon. I'm like, yo, I used to talk to this guy right here.
Oh my goodness, wait. You know me. I'm taking East Baltimore with me, man.
I like that. Yo, Conjure something there, dirt platoon.
Yo, it's gonna be fire. It's gonna be lit. If they ever let me in those doors, I'm taking all of my niggas with me. You better believe it.
So before I let you go, for the vinyl collectors out there, can we expect vinyl coming soon for the Baltimore Housing Project?
Yeah, September the 30th. September the 30th, they're dropping vinyls through Copenhagen Crates.
Okay.
That's a dope spot in Denmark. We stayed right at home. You know what I mean? They're the ones that did the first vinyl for the Ivory Stoop. And yeah, we stayed at home. They take care of me well.
That's good.
So we're going to do that, and we got some dope plans, to do with vinyls as well. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, the vinyls, we're definitely going to feed the people with vinyls. We got some more UWAPs. I think they're talking about repress of the Stoop.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're going to do that. And
they may cause some mayhem if they do, but hey, we for it. We for it. We want it. Give us another chance.
And we're doing something that hasn't been done with the Baltimore Housing Project Vinyl too. It's like, just pay attention, and it'll all unfold, man. Because it's like right now it's in the works. So you know what I mean. Like we're weaning out all of the mistakes and all the dumb shit. But once everything is right, we got y'all.
Man, I can't wait to see like the reception.
All jewels, bro. All jewels. All dope shit.
Only dope shit. Dope shit only, as they would say. So
dope shit only. You know what I'm saying? You know how that shit go.
So as we close out now too, this is not my first time being tapped into the gentleman, because I see a lot of people like, yo, yeah, you should interview so and so. I'm like, bro, like, this is not the first time we talked. So like, yo, I'm gonna include the first time we talked for the people on YouTube who ain't familiar from the desk below. Classic interview, man. But man, to have a return guest like you be so humble, man, I gotta salute you.
Yeah, man.
Everything that you get, you deserve. All these wins, you deserve it.
Thank you, bro. Because that's the easiest part of it, man. You know what I mean? Like when the work is done, it's just this is our version of popping bottles, man. Just being able to tell the story and a recap about the great times we had, creating. That's popping bottles. That's a win for me. You know what I'm saying?
Sir.
So it's like, yeah, it's about what the people don't know. So it's just like, I have fun telling the little stories about behind the scenes, making my shit, and the trials that we tribulated. So this is a win for me, man, to be able to do this and earn my keep.
Yes, sir, man, and it's great. Like you're so willing to let like people document you now too. Be like, I'm be MF Doom and just be Ghost.
Yeah, hey, don't get it twisted. If I get that $1 million break, I'm Dave Chappelle. I'm out of here, bro. I'm out of here. If I get that $1 million, $2 million deal, man, I'm out of here. Me and my family are going to be ducked off somewhere. Niggas ain't going to see us. Please believe, man. I'm buy the biggest TV and a dope remote, and I'm just going to watch the finals, the NBA finals. And interviews.
Talking about Jay Royale, we're in these interviews now too. It's like, yo,
yeah.
I knew that. That's right.
Yeah, man, that's how we moving up.
All right, so this being said, this is another classic interview with the return of my guy Jay Royale, man. Anything you want to let them plug in? Just let them know, my G.
Jay Royale at JAYROYALE, and that's everything. Facebook, Instagram. YouTube, Bandcamp. Fuck with me, listen to it, and give me feedback. What do I need to do? What do I need to fix? Was it dope? Was it not? There's a comment section for all that. Like a picture, like shit, and just, man, stay in tune, man. We got a lot of shit coming.
And this is only beginning for the gentleman right here. So if that being said, this from Desk Low, and we out here. This ain't nothing new to us.
Ain't nothing new to us, man. Thank you for having me, bro.
Anytime, my G.
Welcome back from the Desk of Low. I have with me a very, very talented rapper from Baltimore. Shout out to my Baltimore. I got a few real ones out in Baltimore. But without further introduction, he has a very fire album. I like to bump it on the regular. I like to proudly introduce Jay Royale. Alright. Just let me know when you're ready, sir, and then we lit.
Yo, I'm right here. Yo, I'm live and direct, man. Jay Royale, East Baltimore.
All right, yeah, this is my guy right here. So I just wanted to start this off right, sir. Happy New Year. You know, we're right in the middle of summer, and the Ivory Stoop still making waves, my guy. So I just wanna pick your brain for a bit, Mr. Royale. I just want to ask you at first, how was it growing up in Baltimore, and how did it mold your artistry, sir?
Growing up in Baltimore, it's a roller coaster ride, man. And I ain't even about to sit here, gosh, man, there's so many ways that I can answer that. I love my city. I love my city. I know that my city is a hot commodity right now, just due to the, all of the press that it's getting. You know what I'm saying? But being a Baltimorean homegrown, it's like, I love it here. You know what I'm saying? From the crabs, to the crab niggas. I can curse, correct?
Oh, yes, sir, you can.
Yeah, man. From, what I'm saying? Everything about my city is real. And the authenticity is just that. So it's just like, I feel like I could go on anywhere on God's green earth, and rep my Baltimore shit. You know what I'm saying? I love it here. And it's a real stand-up town. So basically, it's just like, you can talk it all you want, man, but, that shit don't fly for so long in Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? And, the facts are the facts. You know what I'm saying? Like, the bad press that we get, it's just like if you put a magnifying glass on any city, you're gonna find the dirty shit. But it's just like, it's love here too. So that's that. I'm gonna say that. And what my city has done for me as an MC, it's taught me a lot, man. It's taught me to stand my ground. It's taught me to tell my story, and my story is an authentic story. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like Baltimore has a lot of jewels, a lot of hidden jewels with it, and I'm proud to be from here. Flat out.
Well, it's very good to know that you're very Baltimore, because a lot of people, they'll be so quick to, step away from the hometown. It's like, I can't wait to get away from this, but you embrace it to the fullest, so I gotta salute you on that. Was Jay your real name growing up, sir?
Yeah, well, actually, my real name, my mother named me Justin. You know what I'm saying? So, growing up, I had a lot of street nicknames. My nickname was J Rock. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So, when I started rhyming, you know, everybody was like, well, hey, you know, anybody that, you know, my block knew could rhyme, they would be like, yeah, you ain't saying Little Justin or you ain't saying J-Rock, but it's like when I took the artistry serious and, you know, had to make a brand out of it, we had to take things a lot more serious, and it was a lot of different J-Rocks already. So, you know, I didn't want to trail behind anybody, you know, and I feel like what you go by is really real, you know, when marketing and branding. So it's like I wanted to be in the lane of my own.
Okay. Well, and I like how you said you recognize that very early on too, because the one J Rock that everyone knows is Grammy Award winner, should I say?
Correct. And you know, like, salute to him because he took he took his nickname to the top, man. He's accepting Grammys with it. So it's just like, you know, even though it's a million J Rocks out here, it's like how serious you about your craft and your marketing and your branding to where as though, you know, you're willing to swallow your pride in order to make that move, you know?
That's a fact right there.
Yeah, man.
So when I was bumping the Ivory Stoop, I've been bumping it for ever since the beginning of this year. When I listen to tracks like Vintage Garments and The Iron, the one thing that comes to my mind when I really wanted to interview you, the first question that I actually wrote down was when was the first time that you ever heard Ray and Ghost?
Oh, what?
Because like you can tell they had a big impact on your work.
Hey, you know what, man? And it's funny you asked that because let's happy birthday to Ray and Ghost today.
I didn't even plan that on the 100. Yo, shout out to Only Built for Cuban Links. 24.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Because I mean, you know, of course, just by you asking that question means you know that I'm cut from that cloth, man. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, shout out to Ray and Ghost. Like, when I first heard them, a friend of mine said, "Yo, Ghost got shot," and I said, what? He was like, he was like, Ghost got shot, and he was speaking of that interlude where you know the you know what I mean, the remix, the Cash Rules remix where Ghost got shot in the beginning, you know. And I was like, yo, I gotta tell. I forgot how old I was, man. I'm like a teen, and my man put me on, and yo, he stole my heart, man. He stole my heart, man. The Wu-Tang Clan. I was always a fan of the Wu-Tang Clan, and you know, I had homeboys that was around me who just kept their ears to the street. So it was just like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, hip hop was just it was just always in my face, you know. So it's just like it was a part of me, man, early on.
Because a lot of people, like, when they actually take the time to... Because there's a lot of things that fly over people's head when the casual listener listens to it the first time. It's like, you actually have to be into the Wu-Tang culture in order to get this. Like, I remember when I was finding that, too, like, we had the Wu-Tang manual, so that helped a lot of the metaphors, because we're up here in Canada. But when I figured out what Glaciers of Ice was, I was like, Jesus Christ.
Right.
He's talking about sticks.
Yo, I swear, man. Like I tell anybody to this day, man, if we can have a conversation about, you know, the lyrics of Ghostface Killer from early on till now, then I consider you a friend. You know what I'm saying? That's just how much I paid attention to that man, and he's a slang doctor. And you know, like let's tap into that for a second, because on the other side of the coast there was E40. He was also a slang doctor. And then if you want to bring it back to the Bronx, you had Camp Low. They were slang doctors. You know what I'm saying? So it's like their slang held weight, and that, you know, that in itself, for any MC, that is a lethal weapon, because it's like, no matter how old the slang is. If that slang held weight in the street, then that's slang that you could, pen in your tag. You know what I'm saying? And somebody somewhere is going to know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? Just due to the fact that slang is the communal language in hip hop.
That's a fact right there too, because like there's a lot of slang that is still like where like today like people still use slang from back then up until to this day too. I don't agree with the whole base head slang though, but you know where I'm going with that.
Right, I definitely do. But yeah, man, like I mean, our Baltimore slang, it's kind of being slandered right now just due to the fact that, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, man, my whole city right now it's being targeted right now. And we going, this too shall pass. But our slang, is just like anybody else's slang. But you could always date back. And you can always move forward. And, somebody like you got the old heads that know what you're talking about when you're talking about that correct slang, the hell weight, So
you're like, oh, this guy knows what's up.
Exactly. This kid did his homework, and that's the beautiful thing about hip hop, because it's like if you mention certain slang, and if you tap into certain shit that was talked about in hip hop, then and you show that you respect it now, then it's like, oh, okay, this kid, he knows his stuff. He did his homework. And my thing is, I want to get a little bit more vivid than YouTube, or the things that the listeners have access to find out what they think they should know. But it's like, nah, we really saw it, we really talked it, we really lived it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, when I use it, I want to use it in a way where people that were using it and that were active know what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it. Well, and then I guess more appreciation for the artistry as well.
Correct. Yeah, by all means.
I was curious too on when you found the courage to actually start making your own music, because everybody's got to work up the courage to start somewhere.
Yeah, true indeed. Like I was just an avid listener, and the me rewinding tracks and learning the lyrics, Grand Poobah,
Oh wow.
Oh man, Gravediggers,
94.
Mobb Deep, we can just take it there. Just remembering the lyrics turned into, drinking and smoking with homeboys, and then we would play with their music and say it our way. And at first it was a joke. It was just like, oh, yo, ha ha ha. Then it turned into freestyling. Then it turned into using our slang, the shit that we would say in Baltimore. Then it turned into, yo, you got a knack for this shit. Then it turned into the lunch table ciphers. Then it turned into, yo, my nigga can really rhyme. Who wants a battle? You know what I'm saying? The evolution of the MC. You know what I'm saying? It was real. So, I want to say when I was I was 17, okay. 16, 17. I would write my own little poems the Wu-Tang way, and then I would, make a mind massage the mental and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? but then it was like, my close friends and family would be like, all right, that's the Wu shit. You're not from Shaolin. You're not from Staten Island. You know what I mean? It's like, so you would have to make it authentic and bring it home. So I want to say, as a teenager, man, my teenage years was so fucking dope, because I'm an 80s baby. So it's like, I seen it all, man. I seen it all unfold.
Yeah, you actually got to see hip-hop witness its growth, too. And especially, you got to experience the golden era. Oh, my God.
Oh, man. Hey, I am the golden era. Hey, you know what I'm saying? That's why, I want to keep that shit. I want to keep it home. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's like, yeah, I understand that it's going this way. And I understand that they're doing that thing. And I understand that this guy is doing that thing. But it's like, yo, this is the cloth that I'm cut from. So as many times as I've taking a knack, you know, like jumped out there with the rap and took it serious. And people told me, you know, if you want to do it, you got to go this route or you got to go that route. I was the knucklehead. I was hard head. And it's so beautiful because a lot of people weren't. So a lot of people swayed left. And a lot of people, you know, were that gullible. And I wasn't. And it was like people called me crazy for doing certain things that I would do as far as my marketing, as far as, you know, not jumping on the bandwagon. And I just really just did my own thing.
And that's the way how everyone stands out in their own ways by going left when everybody else goes right too. Because you could have easily went right, but you chose to stand out.
Sure indeed, you know, because I mean, so much of like hip hop to me says being different and standing your ground, you know. And as much as, you know, I represent the golden era, and a lot of people say, you know, like, you know, you're doing this type of hip hop. It's in a brand new way. It's like a new renaissance. And, you know, it's like so many people think that type of rap or my type of hip hop is dated, but it's like that. It's classic. You know, it has a classic feel, and you know, I think classics they can't be tarnished at all, bro.
Were you big on the source rating back then?
The what?
Were you big on the source rating? Like, let's say when the source gave Illmatic 5 mics too, were you big on like that being like considered your classic, or were you kind of like making like considering something else classic?
Well, to be honest, when it came to the source, and me being the up and coming MC, you know, I was more in tune with the hip hop quotables.
Okay.
I really did. Yeah, I didn't pay attention. Like in my room. I would cut the hip hop quotables out of the source and the vibes, because at the time when Source was you know, when Source was the thing and it was the magazine to grab, so was the Vibe magazine, and Vibe didn't have the quotables, but they would have the people on the verge. So I would cut out the people on the verge. I had Pun, I had Badu, I had Screwball, I had Capone and Noriega when they was climbing the ladder up on the side of the buildings. I had just you know, I'm just trying to paint the picture for you, but my thing was more or less the quotables, because it was how to play with the words more than who had the classic album, because people had their own opinions. And at that time in hip hop, you know, some people were with it and some people weren't, you know? And my thing was the lyrics. I didn't give a fuck who was with it or who wasn't with it. I knew what I liked, and I knew what my crew approved of, and what my team was running around. Like when we would hang out in the streets, we would have our little radio and be on the bus stops freestyling. We catered to a certain type of hip hop. So it's like you had the other people who was like, oh man, listen to the radio. No, this is our shit. So it wasn't who had the classic album according to the source, because they fucked up sometimes too.
That's fact.
My shit was the lyrics, and my favorite verses, like the Inspector Deck had the for Triumph. He had a hip hop quotable. Common Sense had a hip hop quotable. You had, man, I could tell you these, man. Pun had hip hop quotables. I was more in tune to the hip hop quotable than I was the rec report.
Okay, and that's what it should be about too, is like taking pride in their lyrics too, because all those artists that you name take pride in their lyrics too, so it only shows within your artistry as well.
Facts. That's a whole fact, man. And you know, the cats that I was really looking up to were lyrical. You know, Big L, and you know those everybody had, and this is at a time where lyrics ruled the world. You couldn't be hip hop unless you had it sounding slick. You looked the part and all that. You couldn't just jump out there. Like my type of hip hop, MC Hammer was being talked about. But then let's date back when I was a kid. MC Hammer, I had that cassette.
Yeah,
I had that cassette tape. I was part of. I thought MC Hammer was cool. I thought Vanilla Ice's part and the Ninja Turtles was slick as shit. And that's just my childhood, bro. Because it was like he rapped. When Ninja Turtles the movie went off, that was my shit because it was a rap song. The TURTLE. I could date back to all that, and it was like that was part of my childhood because of the fact that I just like rap. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like if it was a rap part in there, I wanted to hear the rap part.
I was gonna say too, if I ever run into MC Hammer, much respect to MC Hammer. I know you got goons, and I know you get down, so much salute. I love that.
Hey,
I love that record, so Hammer. So yeah, salute right there.
MC Hammer made a lot of money in hip hop, man. And at one point in time, it was like that was the only hip hop that we had until shit came back.
Yeah, that's a fact right there too. It's funny how you said MC Hammer too, because the other day I was watching something about Tupac too, and I was always wondering what that MC Hammer and Tupac collaboration album would have sounded like, if you ever heard of that rumor.
Well, I know that MC Hammer did sign to Death Row.
Yes.
Yeah, but like his no homo, but I know his shit was like pumps in a bump. He had the sex appeal.
Yeah. Death Row was not about that.
Yeah, so like the fuck. So it's just like I couldn't really tell you. That was kind of going left of me because at that time it was baggy jeans, long crazy t-shirts and shit like that. So it's just like all that other shit was just like, wow, what's going on?
I ain't gonna front. I wore some of those big baggy tees, those XXL, 3XL tees.
Oh man, we all did, bro.
So before the Ivory Stoop, sir, you actually have an old mixtape that you're actually re-releasing. It was called The Decline.
Oh wow! The decline was that was my Baltimore baby because that was lyrically. I jumped out there. That was when my pen was going crazy, and it was so unprofessional. It was me being such a hardhead and a knucklehead because, I wasn't hip to getting my music mastered, mixed right. I just was jumping on beats, and I thought people would, gravitate toward that. And it was a lot that I didn't do, but I swear that was one of the best learning processes that I ever went through because it was like, okay, you can rap, but in order to take it to the next level, you have to, pay attention to, getting your music mixed right and, using the correct beats and all that. So it's like it was a learning process, but here in Baltimore, everybody jumped on it. That's when people knew that I was coming. I was coming and I was hungry. You know what I'm saying? They knew that I was hungry as shit, and they knew that that the skill set was there.
And sometimes like all it takes is just for you to like just try it out and just to see where you like calling it. Would you consider that more as like recording a demo as opposed to a mixtape, and the feedback just got well received as a mixtape?
Well, to me, that was just me evolving. I want to call it growing pains.
Okay.
So, call it what you. I let the people tell it, but for me, it was me jumping out there, and let's say coach says get into the game. Let's say coach says, hey, you're going in. So you go in and it's like, all right, we lost the game, and this is what I need to work on. But let's say that I had highlights. You know, like, you did great in the game, but we lost overall as a team, and this is what we need to work on if you really want to take this shit serious. That's how I look at the decline, because still to this day, the decline has some fucking bangers on there, and lyrically, I think that it was a hidden gem. You know, people still give me 2 thumbs up on the lyricism on there, and you know, when it comes to criticism, I know what I'm up against. So it's just like, I just take everything as a learning process. I take notes. I take everybody's input, and I just go back to the drawing board. I lock myself into the studio, and I just, you know, I do me, you know.
And now that you got more of a buzz now, you may never know what certain records on the decline people may gravitate to more that found you through the Ivory Stoop.
Correct, and that's why it's just like, you know, it's trials and tribulations. It's certain things, you as a man growing up, it's just like, okay, it's certain things that I've done and I failed at doing, but you know, I wouldn't take away from it. I wouldn't go back and do it any other way, because what you learn from it is the jewel. You know what I'm saying? It was like, okay, if you want to capitalize on that, if you want to put the magnifying glass on the decline, that's how young I was. I was juvenile. I didn't know. You know, I wasn't professionally musically inclined. So it was just like, yo, it was me and a bunch of lyrical motherfuckers, and we just was really trying to out-rhyme each other. And a lot of people that was on the decline have some names that hold weight in the boom bap community right now.
And that's fact right there too. Would you be doing different artwork for that as well, or would you like to keep it the same?
I probably would switch the artwork, just because I'm in a different place now where I see things different, and you know, like a lot of my ideas, you know, when I was an amateur MC, if you will, they you know, a lot of people threw them in the trash. So it's just like, now that the people are, you know, embracing a lot of my ideas, it's like I feel a little bit more free to give people my views and my perspectives, and just run with it. I'm at this point, I'm doing this for me, bro, and it's just like I'm just having a whole lot of fun with it, and you know, I'll let the people tell it, you know, because by the time I'm on to my next endeavor, however they felt about the last one, it's just like, okay, well, if you didn't like that, maybe try this one on for size. Who knows?
And I like how you said that you're just having fun with it too, because that shows the passion for it too. Because when you're forcing something, it's not going to come out the way it does. When you're having completely fun with it, though, you never know what you can create.
That's a fact, man, because I surround myself with so many dope MCs, and speaking on that, it's just like the MCs that I came up with, you know, are dope, but it's like, as my pen is evolving and as I'm evolving, as I'm maturing as an artist, you know, I'm around a lot of doper MCs, so it's just like, just to be in, you know, the energy. It makes me want to write different. It makes me take that one line that then it would have been dope, but now I gotta chisel away at it a little different, because it's like I want to make it doper. You know what I'm saying, if you will. So yeah, man, I'm really having a very good time. I'm shaking hands with some of my idols. I'm taking pictures with a lot of the artists that I grew up listening to, and now it's like my man, you wouldn't believe me if I told you I text the last 3 or 4 days, bro. Like text messages. So it's just like, I'm blessed. I'm blessed to have had my pen take me to, you know, the level that I am now. And it's like, still, I'm just grounded. I'm having a good time. I'm a fan before I'm anything.
And that's the way it should be.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. I'm about that.
You strike me as a B-list type of listener. Now, when I say that, you know how when you get, I'm gonna use the Blueprint for the example by Hove. You know how everybody they like to run to like girls, 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 or H to the ever Izzo. I bet you're like me who want to hear like You Don't Know or Never Change or even Renegade.
Yes, and you know what though, and that. To me, that is the Jay Royale secret ingredient, bro. Because it's like you have two type of people, just like you said. You got your A-list and your B-list listeners, and it's like you can have the hits. Everybody has heard the hits.
Yes.
I don't start with the hits. I'll buy your album, and I'll start at that one that's named something crazy.
Oh, I definitely like me.
And I dissect the album. I don't have to buy it when everybody buys it. I don't have to, you know what I'm saying? I'm that guy that really likes, like you say, the B list. And it's like I really, you know, I comb the album out. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I like what I like off of an album. And certain people that I have conversations with, I look at them crazy, like, oh, you like that? Like that. The album was cool, but I didn't like that song as much as I like this one. And it's like almost to the point of fact, like certain people are spoon-fed albums, but you can tell the people that are into this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they're supposed to be like, because they'll quote some of the B-list cuts, and only the real hardcore fans will get that.
Right, exactly. Like look at the Marvel movies. You know what I'm saying? If you're watching a Marvel movie and you see something that was a subliminal, because you're a comic book reader, you get it. But everybody else in the audience is like, oh, you didn't see that? You know what I mean? Because it's certain characters that they didn't emphasize that they'll still give light to, but you have to be a comic book reader in order to see that. You know what I mean?
Fly right over their heads.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, yeah, yo, I adore you for calling me that. I'm a B-list listener. Right. I'll take that.
I appreciate that. All right. At least you know where I was going with that. So,
I get it, man. I have. That's why I really try to refrain from, you know, the hip hop debates, because I see hip hop different. You know, so it's like certain people will say this, and I'll be like, yeah, you, but not me. You know.
Yeah. So for the people who are a big fan of Jay Royale too, when they listen, they probably ask, you know, why the Ivory Stoop? Well, I'm not from Baltimore, but I'm very in tune with Baltimore. I understand that Baltimore has a little bit of a stoop history too when it comes into Baltimore too. I was wondering if you can get a little bit behind that too, because that's kind of the inspiration, though, for the title for the Ivory Stoop, sir.
All right, so the Ivory Stoop, you know, the stoop for my city, it means a lot. Historic Baltimore, you know, Baltimore is known for its row homes, and you know the marble stoop. At one point in time, earlier on in Baltimore, you know, the row home was embraced because of its marble stoop. And the people used to, you know, they used to come out every Sunday and used to scrub their stoops with Ajax just to make sure that the marble shined and all that. But, you know, later on down the line, you know, these row homes turned into dilapidated vacant homes. So the stoops became, you know, they became dirty and they became filthy. And then, you know, the younger crowd, the drug dealers, turned the stoop into the trap. Now, if you take that thought and think about hip-hop, early on, hip-hop had substance. It had a message. You know, and then down the line, the younger guys, people say they turned it into trap rap and trap beats. So they took hip hop and devalued it. This is what people said. So I took that I took that thought and I made it synonymous with the Baltimore Stoop. I said, yo, this is exactly what people are saying is happening to hip hop as a culture. They're saying that at one point in time on this side of the timeline that it was clean, it had substance, it had a message, and then on this side of the timeline, it was just dirty, filthy, and then all it is drugs, lean, and becoming junkified. Like people just want to do drugs to it. So I wanted to take the Stoop and make it the epicenter of a story, being as though I feel like I had the message, I had the lyrics of the golden era, but I'm presenting it to you, in present time. So I really wanted to take it all and just hand it to people on a silver platter and tell my story.
And I love how you're saying you're telling your story, everything from the album cover to the album title, even the way that you just explained the album too, because I bet you when most people like Ivory Stoop, or you just selling drugs from a stoop, but when they actually listen right from the intro, it's like the beginning of a movie too. That's why and I'm gonna say this too, I love when you put the rated R on the album cover, because a lot of artists put that rated logo on their projects too, but it doesn't really sound like it. Yours actually sounds like a movie right from the jump.
Right, and shout out to Trevor Lang, man. That's my man. That's the other side of my brain right now. Like me and Trev, we sat down and we looked at this album in so many different perspectives. Putting it together was just so much fun, and it was just the way that everything unfolded. It just was a motion picture, and each song was just a movie scene. So it was just like, yeah, man, it had to come together that way. And shout out to Trev, man. His brain works in a different way, bro. So it's just like sitting down with somebody who I felt like got it. I feel like the way I think sometimes, it's like the way I present my thoughts and my ideas to certain people. It's just like certain people are just like, what are you, crazy? And as I explained what I wanted to do with it, Trev was just like, I love it. So it's just like I gravitate the way the love is. So it's just like wherever the love is, that's probably where you're gonna see Jay Royale. So yeah, man, the whole package was just a movie to me.
I'll say that's a big shout out to Trevor Lane too. That's actually how he found you too. When I was doing my research for his interview when he appeared on the show early on in the year, I came across the Ivory Stoop, and it was lit from there on out. I'll keep it all the way back.
Oh man, that's bless your heart, man.
So I was always curious too. This is why I love when artists do interviews too. Did you have to play around with the track listing and actually like record the intro once you heard the other songs, or was it like the intro first and all the other songs came after, or was it like how you recorded this is gonna go here and so on and so on?
Yo, believe it or not, it was fun as shit putting this together, and it's like, yo, for real, you're bringing me back into the making of the Stoop, because it's like once we would. Think of a jigsaw puzzle. Once we had that big piece, it was like, okay, that won't work unless this goes here. That won't work unless this goes here. So it's just like, even though that the tracks were there, we definitely had to sit down and piece everything together. And where we found gaps, I was like, okay, well, if that's a gap, I have to connect the story. So then it was like we had everything, but then I would have to go back. Okay, then I would have to go back, and then it was a time where I was going through some emotional shit, and then I wrote Malcolm Little, because I mean at that point in time, I felt like it was fuck niggas. You know what I'm saying? And that presented that everything that happened and that you hear is just from the heart. Like, these are genuine thoughts, but putting it together was just it was so tactical, and to me it was brilliant because it wasn't just me. It was people in my team. It was certain people that I would let into the danger room, and it was like, okay, yo, just come to the studio and check it out. And it's like they were blown away, but then it was like, well, what are you going to say about Pop? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh wow, we got to add that. We got to put that in there. So it was so dope putting the shit together, you know. And I think that's damn near 75% of it. A lot of people say work. You know, I'm putting that work in. Yeah, I hate being that. I hate being at fucking work. I don't like being at work. You know, this rap shit, that's where I want to be. And the moment that people look at it like work, that's what it is. So it's like, to me, this shit wasn't work. This shit was like, I can't wait till you guys hear this shit. Like, as I'm putting it together, I'm like, yo, I can't wait till they see this. Like, imagine putting it together, your back to school outfit. And it's like, you know that you got it in you. You brought your tennis shoes, you got your jeans, you got your fitted. But it's like, yo, wait till the bitches see me in this. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, when you walk into school, it's like, look at him. Oh, shit. Nigga, so it's like, yeah, that's how it was for me.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say you got great energy as well too. One of a kind.
I appreciate that, man.
Much love. I love how you said that I was taking you back into the making of the Ivory Stoop too. Was there any tracks that didn't make the cut, sir?
Yeah. Actually,
Okay.
yeah, it was a couple that got set aside.
That
you
just
know
didn't
what I mean?
really fit.
Yeah, because once the shit started becoming an actual movie, it's like like certain shit just didn't become, and like it just didn't fit well, and it was like, okay, it's dope, and we still got them, you know what I'm saying? But at the same token, it's just like people understood, like I love to thank everybody who had a part to do with this, and even more love goes to the people that understood, and not just cuts, but actual cuts, like
That DJ cuts.
Yeah, it's actual DJ cuts that didn't make it. It's actual verses that didn't make it. Because I'm meticulous. I'm meticulous about my shit, and it's just like, yo, I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care about your name. I don't care about what it is you do. We all rhyme, but I keep the rapport there because they understand just as much as I understand. This is a movie. This is dope hip hop, and it's like if some motherfuckers gotta get killed off early in the season, some people get killed early in the movie. So hey, like you got killed, bro. But nah, yeah, everybody understood, and they, I got a lot of inboxes, a lot of texts like, y'all mad that I didn't make it, and they still was like, I love it. So it's like I know I did the right thing, and to the people that didn't make it, I love them, and we'll take another stab at it.
And I love how each guest appearance fits the whole album. Like even like the Lonnie Moore, or even the Boss Man the God, or even the Griselda features with Benny and Conway. They fit perfectly.
Right, and oh man, like shout out to all those guys, and just recently they've all received texts from me because oh man, I'm knee deep into my next project, and I'm trying to go waist deep. And my man, it's like, if it's not broke, why fix it? But the people, oh man, like it's so much that I want to tell you, but let's just focus on the people that made this cut, because everybody who made the cut did their job, and they did it well, and they're all brilliant MCs.
And I love how you big up your peers too, because you'd be surprised how much people don't want to big up their own peers.
That's something I deal with now, bro. But I mean, that's a whole nother chapter of the book, and it's all good vibes, man. Because it's like, that's just part of what we doing, that's part of it. you got that side of it, and it's just like, who knows what it is? They have. I don't know, man. Let's keep on going. Fuck them. Fuck all negative vibes, bro. That's just it.
That's a fact. We don't want no negative vibes over here. Like the beloved Flea said, only positive vibes only, Lord.
Hey, shout out to Flea. I met him a couple of times, and as crazy as dude may seem, he is one of the coolest motherfuckers on the earth.
That's a fact right there too. Shout out to Flea,
man. People
because...
don't get it. Like, he seems like the live wire, but when you catch Flea just wants to chill. He just, oh man, salute Flea.
I say Flea. I got my loyalty will always be, well, one of my loyalties will always be for Flea, because he was my breakout interview. Once he went live with my shit, yo, my thing was lit after that.
Wow. Hey, yo, check this out, man. I'm humbled to be a part of anything fucking Flea Lord was a part of, man. Like, for real, that dude is cool as a bitch.
Oh, that's a fact right there too. You guys cool make a fire collab.
Yeah, we have a dope ass mutual friend. They actually did my skateboard decks, 410 Skate Company.
Okay. That was actually one of my questions for you too.
Look out for Flea. Flea about to do it's not as if he's not already doing dope shit. Flea's about to turn shit up.
Oh yeah, it's a fact right there too.
Flea's about to do some crazy shit out here, man.
I caught Flea right after the release of Lord Talk 2, and just to see the growth, I was like, yeah, I knew this shit was coming.
Man,
I just never knew he was coming like full throttle. I was like, damn, 3 projects on his 4th now, just this year? Shit.
Flea's a good dude, man, and not only Flea, man. Let's talk more, man. Benny, Conway, good dudes, bro. And it's like we caught them early, so it's just like, yo, when we shot the Iron,
yes,
you know, we was in New York. Benny pulled up on me. We texted that night. We went to his pop-up shop. All love. I bought my man a bottle, and we was just in New York, and the whole time we was shooting, he was just dropping constant jewels on me, you know? Stay hungry, don't let up. So much shit, Benny put me, like, he just hit me to a lot of shit, and just to see those guys take off the way that they have been, just to be a part of something that they blessed me with verses and they took part in, and man, I'm humble, blessed and highly favored, man.
And that's also something very to be humbled on too, is like that they're a part of your story of your debut LP.
Yeah, and oh man, like fucking Baltimore, like at the time, you know, I don't want to go out on a limb and say the wrong shit, but at this point in time when we caught them, they came to Baltimore on the Locks tour, and you know, we shook Benny hand, and he's like, man, yo, let's work. My nigga Benny said, fuck it, yo, let's work.
Yeah, no checking out, so let's work.
And the rest is history, bro. The rest is history. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, for real, 1,000 salutes go to Benny the Butcher, you know what I mean? West Side Gun, you know what I mean? Conway the Machine. Like, what they've been doing for hip-hop is just uncanny, man. Bless those dudes, man.
Big bless to them, too. I was talking to one of my peers for a while about interviewing you, and he's like, you know, he had the Snow Goons eating fried chicken in his living room. I'm like, word?
Yo, that's a whole yo. I got my girl behind me, man. We had the Snow Goons. Yeah. Hey, yo, you funny as shit for saying it. Yo, this is a narwhal. It's like a narwhal. All right, yo, so check this out. The funny fucking story, right? So, the Snow Goons, so we knew, me and my nigga Ill Conscious, we knew they was going to show up, right?
Yes.
So I get a text, and I'm like, all right, so where y'all at? So they was like, all right, so we across the street at the liquor store. So I'm like, he said, yo, you know, we knew we was there because the shit looked like The Wire. Look, hey, quiet is kept, right? Like this not gonna be aired. But these niggas was sitting in the fucking track. So I'm like, no, yo, get from over there. Y'all gotta come closer. I said, yo, y'all in the wrong. I said, y'all can't be parked there too long. Y'all gotta come on over here. So then they came through. They came over. We shot the video. So it was like, look, bro, where to get some good chicken at? I'm like, oh my fucking God. I'm like, yo, I got the snow goons in fucking Baltimore eating chicken. We came back to my crib and we was just fucking eating chicken. And yo, let me tell you something. The stories that they told me about touring.
Oh, I bet.
Oh my God, that you know, like, and I say this respectfully, the video fire, the music fire. Fuck all that. The storytelling and eating chicken in my fucking crib, that's what I took from it. You know what I'm saying? And yo, for real, until those will forever be my dudes. You know what I'm saying? They sent me a whole dope ass pack, the vinyl pack. Shit came out crazy. The video, the music, the song, everything came out. That was God's work, bro. Like that was God's work, man. And that's just another play that just shows me that I'm where I'm supposed to be in this rap shit, because it's like, come on, man, how many people can say they ate fucking fried shit with the snow goes?
Well, actually told like, yo, you guys can't be in that spot too. I want you to come over here.
Right, that shit is just crazy, man. That shit, hey, salute the snow goons. I got a text from them recently. Yeah, so let's keep on moving, bro. Okay. I can show you back and tell you. You know what I'm saying? So.
And then you actually collaborated with somebody who I grew up listening to and had the pleasure of interviewing too. My guy Big Twins on the track Let's Go.
Oh man, it's called The Let Go.
Oh, The Let Go. My bad.
Yeah, it's called The Let Go. Yeah. Hey, and yo, look forward to more shit with Twin, because man, we trying to figure out the stomping ground where we trying to shoot this movie. But yo, please look forward to more Jay Royale and Big Twins, man. That nigga right there, another humble dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, we reached out and you know, history was made. You know, like, it's not a lot of Baltimore artists that can talk like this right now, man. I feel good, man. I feel good. Like, I feel good about the moves that we making. Hey, yo, whoa. Let me shout out my nigga Ray Sosa. Let me shout him out. Sos really is the other ventricle in my heart, man. Sos reached out, and since, man, this nigga Sos been on a crazy run. It's just been crazy. Shout out to Ray Sosa. Make sure you, when you edit or whatever you do, cut that part up loud, echo it, whatever.
Oh, big facts. I definitely will. I'll put it in the description
Shout
too.
out my niggas, Ray Sosa. Hey, Sos, what it is. That's all.
So when you're actually getting prepared for your next body of work too, I was curious too on the merch, like how you did with the Ivory Stoop with the skateboard deck too. Do you plan on doing something unique with your next upcoming piece of work, or do you want to keep that on the wraps right now?
Well, yeah, I definitely would like to keep that under wraps, but I'll say this, you know, every time that we sit down and go to the drawing board about, you know, the rollout, me and my, it's not even a team. It's not even a team effort. It's just me and my close friends and family, and we sit down and we try to figure out different ways just to be different. You know, just to be different, because it's like that's what hip hop is about. Everybody follows that whatever. We don't want to do that. We want to stand out. We want to stand out. So it's just like, yeah, bro, like, I feel like that's a part of it, you know, and we want to be as far in the future as we can, and that just takes abstract thinking, you know. It takes abstract thinking, and it takes a lot of gambling on yourself. It takes a lot of pride, and it takes a lot of believing in yourself. We don't have to do what the fuck they doing. We're gonna do what we want to do, and what we have fun doing, and you know, we're gonna learn from our mistakes.
And
That's it. That's all.
And plus, every great broke the rules.
Sir, don't say that, because I'm gonna feel like I'm a great. Everything they've told me not to do, motherfuckers have called me up like, "What are you doing? What the fuck are you doing, Jay?" Yeah, man, and that's why Sos is just Sos, Trev. They just that close to me, because you know they sit, then they say, "Fuck it, let's do it." They'll sit, they'll think, then they say, "Fuck it, let's do it." You know, and so far, you know, we can laugh at it, you know, because we're having fun.
All right, and it's good to hear that you're having fun while you're telling your stories too, because that's the way it should be too, having fun while telling the world your story.
True indeed, man.
I won't take up most of your time, Jay Royale. This is a question that I ask all of my guests.
True.
And the reason why I ask all my guests this too is because we're all unique individuals, and no individual can ever answer this question the same. So, if that being said, if there's anybody out there who looks up to Jay Royale, and if the so the question is, do you have any words for somebody in a dark place? And I believe your words can truly help them get out of a dark place if they really look up to you.
I'll say this, and I mean this. Whatever dark place that they're in, this too shall pass. This too shall pass. There's nobody else like you, you know, and greatness is what you make of it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, whatever you're going through, persevere. And it's like, I don't want to turn this into a me thing, because I just been through the worst, bro. But, you know, at the end of the day, there is light at the end of the tunnel. Keep pushing. Keep standing your ground, and keep letting motherfuckers know that you are you. You know, because it's like individuality is winning nowadays. You can market yourself, you can brand yourself, and you could be you and win. So it's just like, whatever you're going through, it's just another chapter of the book. But make sure that people can get to the end of the book. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because your story is not done being told, and only you can tell it. So yeah, man.
Not only do you have great energy, you have a phenomenal answer too, because we do live in a day and age where you can be completely yourself and still win.
And you can win. You know, a lot of it's millionaires, and it's like, look at this motherfucker. He made it. He turned into a millionaire like Jay-Z. Yeah. You know, look at Jay, man. Look at some of these stories. Look at Meek Mill. You know, and it's like some of these cats, you know, they've been dragged through the mud. You know and it's like, you know, I don't want to tap into the whole race thing, but they're black men. You know, you see what's going on in our black men, our black community. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not supposed to be millionaires. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, you know, it's that ray of light, man. It's just like, yo, I could do that too. I have thoughts. I have ideas. I have something to say. And it's like, however I have to do it, you know? It might not be the rap. It might be the merch. It might be a story. Motherfuckers, just a little bit of money could create another opportunity. You know what I'm saying?
It's factory.
Whatever you want to put out there, man, just do it. It's art. Yeah, that's all. I don't want to take up too much of your time.
Oh, no worries. I'm in the lab cooking, no worries.
Yeah, man, just, whatever dark place anybody's in, this too shall pass, man. Everybody's talented, and you are special, no matter what the fuck you do. Do it to the fullest. Believe in yourself. Invest in yourself, and make believers out of the non-believers, because they are out there, and it's up to you.
And while you're doing this too, just make sure that you all be completely yourself too.
Correct. Be genuine, and be authentic. Yeah, man. Yup.
But I think this is the perfect way to end this classic interview of somebody who has very, very great energy. I fairly enjoyed this interview. This is my guy right here. Another classic interview from the desk low, featuring my guy Jay Royale.
Hey, man. Hey, bless your heart. Thank you for having me. Can I give you some plugs?
Oh yeah. My bad. I was just gonna let you know. Is there anything you'd like to plug in before I let you go, sir?
Oh man, yeah. Hey, anybody looking for Jay Royale music, man? SoundCloud, IG, Facebook, YouTube, all of it is Jay Royale. That's one word, all caps. JAYROYL. Oh fuck, I'm nice.
Don't worry. We'll make sure that people find it in the description as well. I always make sure I do that for the fans if they want to tap all the way in.
Alright, dope. But let me hit people with that one more time.
All right.
That's JAYROYALE, and that's all across the board. You know what I'm saying? Bandcamp is jroyale.bandcamp.com. Yeah, man, come check me out. Come check anything that has to do with me out. I want to shout out all of my Baltimore spitters, MCs, Jamil Honesty, El Conscious the God, Dirk Return, God Grams. Yeah, man. Baltimore has something to say, man. And shit, man. Just keep listening.
That's fact right there too. Like I said before, my guy has amazing energy too, and I can't wait for y'all to hear what he has coming up next. With that being said, this is another classic interview from the desk low, featuring my guy Jay Royale.
Hey, shout out to you, brother. That's low. Love you, bro.
I love you too, my guy. One love.
All right. Till the next time.
One time. I just